was supposed to come on from last night, but I had to get some rest. Figure right now would be the best time. So, let's get into this thing. Let me get back my main theme. Let's tone this down right here.
That'd be hard, though.
Let's get back into this now. So what happened? Let me break it down. On the screen, we have a still image that I took from a content creator named Kevin Samuels. I learned about this particular content creator from, I believe it was Reg the Bad Guy. I guess his name was brought up, and you know, for whatever reason, they said there was a video or something that was made about women or something like that, and I decided to go take a look and view it. I didn't really completely view the stream, but it kind of led me to another video, which is this video right here. Are you willing to give relationships a second chance? So I kind of just was browsing, listening, you know, listening to a couple of callers that were calling in. A couple of ladies, they're all confused. They don't know what they're doing. A lot of ladies, they already done hit the wall and they're looking for advice. And it seemed like nobody is telling women exactly the truth on why their relationships don't last, why nothing seems to work. It's pretty simple. Feminism. If you take feminism out of your life as a female, your relationships will work. That's it. You don't need an hour-long video to explain. You don't need some sort of psychiatrist or a therapist or someone to counsel you. Just remove feminism from your life, and what will happen is you will begin to fall back into your natural role in your femininity, and then everything will go according to plan. But in the midst of looking at this particular show, right, I noticed that someone called out my name, as you can see right there. Let me open this up a little bit more. Someone named Avesta Ed. Avesta, are you listening? Avesta called out my name and said, "Sorry, Ringo." He basically said that to provoke me because of whatever Kevin Samuels must have said concerning polygyny or polygamy, to be correct. And my first thoughts was, why are you calling out my name? Because whatever Kevin Samuels had to say regarding polygyny or polygamy, number one, is not truthful. That's why I'm going to make this particular stream here, because I want to make sure that viewers are not led astray or deceived by a consultant. I don't want you to be conned or scammed into believing that polygamy or polygyny is something that is for the rich and famous or someone who is extremely wealthy. So I put together a little skit to kind of make you understand how principles work. I believe, based on my research of Kevin Samuels, he's supposed to be some sort of image consultant. And his purpose, I guess, is to focus on fashion and probably give his clients what they need to have a better self-image, to pursue their goals in life. And I looked at his intro video on his channel, and it was interesting because it contradicts everything that he shared concerning polygyny. Because when you really think about it, a principle is something that works no matter which arena it's in. I want you to take a listen to this little skit of video clips that I put together. All of these clips is from his page. I took some clips from his promo consultant video, as well as his comments concerning polygamy. And I want you, the viewer, to listen to what he has to say and think logically and let it make sense, and think about how it contradicted what his purpose is as a consultant. And then I'm going to break down a whole bunch of stuff concerning polygamy, because I need for everybody out there in the public to understand that what's taking place in this culture right now is what is called dysfunctional polygamy. That is what's being done rampant throughout the world. But nobody wants to talk about it and really look at what's going on. And I believe what prompted Brother Samuels is someone came into the chat, I believe, and left a comment or a question on would polygamy be an alternative? And it triggered something in Brother Samuels. It triggered some sort of emotion in him. And he quickly said, I got to speak on this. I got to say something about this. I was going to make a show about this. And he turned off the lights and he, used some sound effect of like a whip or something. And then he did something that I think was out of character. And if you're watching Mr. Samuels, I hope that you learned something from this. He insulted men who speak on topics of polygamy. And once I heard that, I start to think, who actually on YouTube is talking about polygamy? Who talks about those topics? Oh, I know who. I do. Yeah, I talk about polygamy. Not only do I talk about polygamy, but Pastor Dow also talks about polygamy. And we don't talk about polygamy, but we talk about polygyny, which is the practice of a man having more than one wife. So when Brother Samuels pretty much began to speak, and he belittled men who practice or teach on the topic of polygyny, I was greatly concerned about that. I don't want the public to be misled into thinking that somehow polygamy or polygyny is something that, as a man, you are unable to practice or achieve because of some sort of financial lack thereof. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this particular clip, and please keep in mind that I am not paying attention to the chat. I'm at work right now, and I have an obligation to share truth so that you can pretty much wake up to what the reality of polygamy is actually about. We're going to play this particular clip, and I want you to pay attention so that you can learn something from this. Now, let me shut down this music right here. Take that off. How everybody doing? Everybody doing good? Everybody all right? Everybody okay? Let me see. Big Block said, Kevin Samuels, don't fall for the bait. Ringo just clout chasing. Let me give you a little history. Maybe you don't know who I am. Clout chasing. In order for someone to clout chase, it means that they are pretty much targeting someone who is big and they are considered small. And their goal is to bring attention to themselves. For you, you may not know who I am. I'm Ringo. I've been on YouTube since 2006. I am a YouTube legend, an OG. Been here before all of these guys. There is nothing to clout chase about. Just because I don't have a certain number of subscribers does not mean that I am less than a Kevin Samuels. My body of work consists of many years that no content creator on YouTube in the black sector could even compare to. So please, don't waste your time accusing me of clout chasing. I think that's end that right there. Now, let's get into the footage so that we can pretty much learn the facts at hand so that we can pretty much see what's going on. You gotta take a listen to this.
You guys out here talking this polygamy shit. You're too broke to afford one woman. Most people think this is scary and it's only reserved for the rich and famous. And I think it can be further from the truth. A lot of you guys out here talking this polygamy shit. You're too broke to afford one woman. You ain't making the $10,000 a month that it takes to get yourself the kind of high value life you're talking about. You talking about having 2 women, 3 women? Why? Because slave or famine, these women will come crawling back to you. Let me tell you something. There's always been those with and those without. Polygamy kind of stuff, harems are reserved for men with immense power and wealth. Not average, everyday guys just because there are too many women. Don't think that like it's a scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous. And nothing could be further from the truth. Polygamy kind of stuff, harems are reserved for men with immense power and wealth. Not average, everyday guys just because there are too many women. Most people think it's a scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous.
Hold up, everybody's saying that the volume is low. Let me know if that's fact. With a 1, is the volume low on the video footage? Put a 1 in the chat if the volume is low on the video footage.
Nah, I do remember those nights. I was talking about frogs.
Let me see what I can do about that. Give me a second here. I would have to raise this speaker up here. Hopefully that solves it, but we'll see. I'm gonna start it back from the top, and hopefully everything should be a little bit better now. Let me see if I can go back and do this over. Let me know if the volume is good.
Hi, my name is Kevin Samuels with Made Image Consulting. I'm an image consultant, which means I do and understand fashion. Now, there's a big misconception with that word fashion. Most people think it's the scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous. Most people think it's the scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous. Most people think it's the scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous. It's only reserved for the rich and famous. It's only reserved for the rich and famous. It's only reserved for the rich and famous. And nothing could be further from the truth. As a matter of fact, fashion can be easy, fun, and affordable. Fashion can be easy, fun, and affordable. Fashion can be easy, fun, and affordable. Let me go ahead and just say this real. Let me go ahead. I wasn't gonna do it in the show. Go ahead and say something right now. A lot of you guys out here talking this polygamy shit. You're too broke to afford one woman. Most people think it's this scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous, and nothing could be further from the truth. A lot of you guys out here talking this polygamy shit. You're too broke to afford one woman. You ain't making the $10,000 a month that it takes to even get yourself the kind of high value life you're talking about. And you're talking about having 2 women, 3 women? Why? Because a plague or famine, these women gonna come crawling back to you? Let me tell you something. There has always been those with and those without. Polygamy kind of stuff, harems are reserved for men with immense power and wealth, not average everyday guys just because there are too many women.
Wow.
It's the scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous, and nothing could be further from the truth.
Pay attention.
Polygamy kind of stuff, harems are reserved for men with immense power and wealth, not average everyday guys just because there are too many women. Most people think it's this scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous, and nothing could be further from the truth. Far too many guys, far too many black men, you're you're right there in the middle at best. Middle, maybe you're anywhere from the top 50% to maybe top 20%. You're right there, 50 to 80%, and you expect to have 4 or 5 women because all of a sudden women, no, stop living this freaking fantasy. Most people think it's this scary thing that's only reserved for the rich and famous. It's only reserved for the rich and famous. It's only reserved for the rich and famous. It's only reserved for the rich and famous. And nothing could be further from the truth. As a matter of fact, fashion can be easy, fun, and affordable. You're too broke to afford one woman. You're too broke to afford one woman. You're too broke to afford one woman. Fashion can be easy, fun, and affordable. Never in recorded history have you seen a society to where polygamy was just rampant. The Black Death, bubonic plague, when 1/3 of Europe died, you didn't see men with 5 wives. When 1 out of every 3 people died, see what it's really is it's much more of some sort of, and not the person who asked the question, so not him. But far too often when I see this question asked, it tends to be asked from guys who are kind of OD'd on these red pills. Guys who are living this masturbatory, hot boy summer fantasy that, all these women are going to get their comeuppance because I got a job and benefits. She's going to have to come back to the regular guy and then I can have 10 hot chicks. No, Mormons have never been widespread anything. So no, there would not be any widespread freaking polygamy. Polygamy won't take a hold, man, no. It's not even human nature. It's not even human nature. It's not even human nature. Polygamy, I mean, the dude with 10 wives will be dead. Fantasy, yeah. But again, if you want polygamy, knock yourself out. But it will not become wide-ranging or far-spread. Nope.
Now, if you have critical ears that listen carefully, you would hear a major contradiction. Now let's examine a couple of things, because clearly in the chat we have a couple of dumbass people who just don't know how to think, and they're most likely cheerleaders. When you examine Kevin Samuels, he is considered an image consultant. In his infomercial, he talked about how most people look at that as something that is only reserved for the rich and the famous. And he made it very clear that that's further from the truth. In other words, if you're the average working man, you're successful in your own right, you may not be rich and famous, but you too can participate. You too can have an image consultant for you as well. He said it can be fun, easy, and affordable, which means we're not talking about a wealthy man, because when it comes to something that is affordable, we're not talking about a rich man. You know, rich people don't walk in the store and ask, how much is that shirt? How much is those